Today we're going to be making some empanadas. This is something that's very common, for instance, in South America. Of course, since this is a keto recipe, you won't be using the traditional recipe to make the dough. Most fathead doughs are similar to each other, but there's a few variations. If you have one fathead dough that you prefer, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, I'm going to show you a little bit what you need for this one. I'm going to be filling these empanadas with a beef mixture. Empanadas is one of those things that you can really improvise, come up with things that you like. You can make these even sweet, but today these are for dinner, so we're going to do a savory beef one. And to top it off, we're going to add a traditional style chimichurri sauce. So first off, for dough, I'm going to use a traditional fathead dough, which consists of 1.5 cups of mozzarella, 3 ounces cream cheese, 1 1/4 cup almond flour, and 1 egg. For our filling, I'm going with a pound of ground beef, about 1/2 cup of chopped onions. Then I'm going to use some spices that I like: chili powder, cumin, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion. But these are things that you can customize to your taste. Also, I'm going to be adding some store-bought salsa, 1/3 cup, and this can be any sauce of your choice. Just make sure that it doesn't have any added sugar, of course. We'll also be using some avocado oil, but you can use any oil that you prefer. Avocado oil is great. You can use olive oil or coconut oil, for instance. For the chimichurri sauce, I am going to be using some fresh parsley, about 1/2 cup, 2 tablespoons of fresh oregano that I chopped up, 4 cloves of garlic. You can either crush it or, like I do, use a garlic press. I'm going to be using a small red chili pepper that I'm going to be chopping up. We're also going to be using about 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, salt and pepper to taste, and 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. So we're going to start by making our beef filling first. Go ahead and add your 1/2 cup of chopped onions to about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using avocado oil here. You add your 1 pound of ground beef and start breaking the meat up into small pieces. While your beef is cooking, you want to go ahead and add your seasoning. I'm using about 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, a little bit onion powder, some garlic powder, salt and pepper. How much and what you use is really up to you, what you like. When your beef mixture has browned, you want to add 1/3 cup of salsa, whatever salsa you like. This is a very spicy one since that's how we roll in this house, but whatever you like, add that. Stir everything together, and then you want to set your beef mixture aside until it's ready to make the empanada. For our dough, you want to add 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese to a pan. Make sure the pan you use can be used in a microwave. Then you want to add 3 ounces of cream cheese. Go ahead and microwave your mozzarella and cream cheese mixture for about 1 minute. Take out your dough and stir it really well, and then put it in for another minute. Stir your dough really well again. Then you want to add your 1 egg. Mix it really well and add in your 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. When you have mixed your dough together, add it to a surface. Place some plastic wrap on top. Use a rolling pin, or if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use, for instance, an empty bottle of wine. And you want to roll it out to a thickness of about 1/4 inch or so. When it comes to cutting out your circles for the empanadas, you want to go with something probably about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. It depends on how big you want them. You gotta remember now that they're going to be folded, so whatever you're looking at is half the size of the finished product. After you cut out your circles, you want to place them on a cooking sheet with parchment paper that you have lightly greased. So I'm using a bowl that's about 4.5 inches in diameter, and I made 4 empanadas. Go ahead and roll together whatever leftover you have, and it should be enough to make 1 more. Alright, as you can see, it's not that much left of the dough. After reflattening out the dough, we actually have a total of 6 empanadas. I find that the easiest way to fill it is to hold the circle in your hand and put a few spoonfuls in there, and then fold it over. You get a feel for how much filling it can hold. When you have an appropriate amount of filling, you want to gently fold it over in half and make sure to press down firmly on the edges. You can also slightly roll the edges to make sure that they're really stuck together, or use a fork to gently push down on the edges. These are not exactly the prettiest empanadas you've ever seen, but it is what it is, and they're still gonna be tasty. Now you want to cook these in a 425-degree preheated oven for about 12 minutes. You want to see a nice golden brown color. While your empanadas are baking in the oven, you want to go ahead and make a chimichurri sauce. I like to make it in my trusted old food processor because it's very quick that way. You want to go ahead and add half a cup of parsley. I like to add about a small handful of cilantro as well. About 2 tablespoons of fresh oregano. Go ahead and add 4 cloves of garlic. You want to either crush it or, in my case, use a garlic press. Add 1 minced red chili pepper. 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Half a cup of avocado oil or a good quality olive oil. 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. And then you want to add some salt and pepper and give it a whirl. And there you have your chimichurri sauce. Since this has fresh lemon juice in it, you can make this in advance, about 24 to 48 hours, and it should still stay fresh. The empanadas just came out of the oven and looking nice and golden, and we're now ready to plate our dinner. Alright, so our empanadas are ready and our chimichurri sauce is going on top, and now our dinner is ready to eat. Bon appetit!